During the new immigration era, the Philippines was one of the countries that people immigrated from to find work in America. Some Filipinos had to immigrate to America since at the moment the country was in poverty, resulting from years of Spanish and American colonialism. Because of this, some immigrants had to immigrate to America to send money back home to their families in the Philippines, while other immigrants had to finish their education in America, since the education in the Philippines wasn't all that great. The voyage and journey of a Filipino immigrant to America would have the Filipino immigrant first having to pay a fee to a boat driver to drive them to the Philippines. On the boat, it would take a long journey, about 2 to 3 weeks, until arriving in America. They're served unedible and raw food like stale bread, and they're sitting in cramped and sickening conditions. Upon arriving to America, the Filipino immigrant is checked of their mental stability and their health conditions. The people there run tests on them to see how they are, and they ask them a series of questions checking of how they are. After, they're put into a room, and after a week, they get the test results to see if they're allowed in America or not. After the procedure in Angel Island, the Filipino could go anywhere he wants in America. So some Filipinos take the train to go to New York City because there's a lot of job opportunities there, like factory work and sewing, while other Filipinos stay in California and take jobs as gold miners, oil producers, or agriculture and farming. During the modern day immigration era, Korea was one of the countries that people immigrated from to go to America. Some factors that pushed Korean immigrants to come to America were population pressure, poor infrastructure, inadequate job offers, bad educational chances, poor health care, ecological problems, natural disasters, and social compulsions. Some factors that pulled Korean immigrants to America were improvement in the standard of living, better healthcare and availability of services, varied employment opportunities, higher wages, quality of education, no social compulsions, and future prospects. The voyage and journey of a Korean immigrant would first be going to the U.S. Embassy in South Korea. They would have to take a series of tests to check if they were okay. From there, they would have to buy a plane ticket to get to the US. They would go to the airport in South Korea and land 1 to 2 days later in California, United States. Before entering the US, the Korean immigrant would have to go to the U.S. Embassy in South Korea to take an interview to check for their mental stability and for any sicknesses or any health problems. Once after the Korean immigrant is in the US, they are checked for any weapons or any suspicious activity. After arriving in California, United States, from Korea, the Korean immigrant is free to choose wherever he'd like to go. So they mostly go to New York or stay in California to find work or home there. In New York, they usually find business, banking, doctoring, or any of your other typical jobs. In California, it's the same, but there's also farming, agriculture, and etc.